Let's jump into some noteworthy news for Conan Exiles this week, including patch notes, the recent Exiles Aid charity campaign that Conan Exiles had, and upcoming Twitch drops that are going to be available once again. Starting right off, I want to thank everybody that was involved with the charity campaign for Conan Exiles. Whether you were just watching or you decided to donate, thank you very much for your support and participation in the charity events. Your support raised over $15,000 for Save the Children. That's no laughing matter, and you all deserve a big round of applause. Thank you very much for your support. As part of that, the Watcher Armor set is returning to Twitch drops. Now you can watch Twitch live streams that have drops enabled between May 20th and June 5th in order to unlock the Watcher set. Now this is a returning set to Twitch. It was in drops. In fact, I think it was one of the first sets of drops that you could get from Twitch for Conan Exiles. But this is returning and you should definitely mark your calendar to tune in and get this set. Jumping into the patch notes from May 14th, there is a forward notice on here. It says, we are aware of and continue to investigate an issue where characters may periodically sink into building pieces. Due to the delicate nature of foundations and sensitivity to changes that affect them, if you know, you know, a resolution for this issue will arrive in a future update. Thank you for your patience. We understand it's frustrating. Now, many people have reported that they've been sinking into or logging in and being inside their foundations, but this doesn't just affect foundations, it affects all building pieces. So even if you're logging out on a ceiling piece or on a second floor, you may end up sinking through those foundations. An easy workaround for this would be to just create a place inside your base that doesn't have any building pieces where you can log out and not have to worry about sinking into those foundations. Before I get any deeper into the patch notes, I do want to address the elephant in the room. Your bug, the thing that you've been watching and that is the biggest issue for you, is likely not in these patch notes. Now you can look at that however you want to. The way that I'm looking at this is I feel like we are getting patches more often, and yes, they're a little bit smaller and they don't include everything that I'd like to be fixed, but I like seeing more patches more often, and I feel like if Funcom was to get into a rhythm where they're patching more often and fixing these things, then it would be better for the game. So even though there isn't a ton of stuff in these patch notes, I feel like this is the path that they should take going forward. More patches more often, fixing what they can along the way. So we have bugs and tweaks. Thrall command and interact inputs are no longer mapped to the same button, interacting with the battle pass notifications. If you didn't notice while you were playing, when you unlocked a tier completion of the battle pass, it would pop up on the screen and it would say press interact to open. That has been changed to the inventory button, so you're not in the middle of battle unlocking these things, trying to command your thralls and accidentally opening up the battle pass tier completion reward. They've improved animations for golem movement and combat. That's nice. It's good to see them continuing to refine those things. Friendly followers have received further, if not an enemy Y enemy shaped training, and no longer attack allied golems. I don't know why they word things this way, but basically if you have a follower golem, sometimes you would have your thralls attack it, and that was just an aggro issue, so that seems to be resolved. Fixed certain items missing the option to repair, such as the redeemed Legion armor. Note, you still have to know the recipe for an item in order to repair it, but this should now function properly, as well as within creative mode or when you're using the command unlock all recipes. Admin cheat is enabled. Now, I've still seen some people saying that this isn't working. My recommendation is, if you knew the redeemed Silent Legion before and you are not able to repair it now, just go up and learn the recipe again, and that will likely fix the issue. That's my recommendation. If you are having issues with that after you've gone up and relearned it, I would recommend putting in a report on the forums, letting them know it's still bugged. Split stack window now triggers on long press rather than press and release. I'm not entirely sure what that means. The way that I've always split stacks is just to shift click and drag it to another spot, get the pop-up to select whatever amount I want to split, and that's the way I've always done it. So I'm not entirely sure what they mean by long press versus press and release. Maybe that's something to do with console players, but like I said, I've always just dragged the item into another spot in order to get that window to pop up. Fixed an issue where a player is not able to shift click an item from another player's inventory into their own. That sounds like a PvP looting thing, so hopefully that's fixed and working better. Fixed several additional areas where players can fall through the world and die. That's good. I don't know where all those locations were, so I have not been chasing them down to see if they're all fixed. Fixed frame rate issues when dropping items from inventory on PS4. Fixed an issue where a game's host becomes stuck when respawning after removing their bracelet. Fix an issue where the option button intended boxes disappear when nothing is selected in inventory. Logged out unconscious players now display their name when inspected. Gazelles once again know fear and flee from danger. It's kind of funny because I see a lot of people poking fun at that line. The fix to gazelles now fleeing from danger is so important. It's more important than X, Y, or Z. And I've got to say, it's probably just it was an easy thing to fix, something that they had a tick box for so they could just check that and move on. Some of these other issues, I have to say, they are going to take more time, and I don't want to see fixes rushed. I want them to actually work when they come to the game. So yes, I want to see Funcom patch more often with smaller patches that work as intended, instead of seeing more often patches with things only halfway fixed or only partially fixed and things not working as intended. So that's my 2 cents on that. Moving on, we have some Battle Pass and Bazaar stuff. Improved visual effects for Yamatai Osen water pump. Arcane reinforced door frame is now correctly granted from the Arcane Builder Revisited bundle upon purchase. Normalized HP values on parts of the Arcane Builder Revisited bundle that were unintentionally set too high. And the last thing that I want to cover here is the Sacred Hunt event. It has been announced that that is going to stay in the game for the foreseeable future. So at least until the next age, we'll have the Sacred Hunt event available to engage with and play with. So for those of you that really wanted to get any of the recipes that were sold during that event, you now have much more time to engage in that content and get all the gnarled fangs that you need to make those purchases. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. Don't be out of whack. There's another video on the screen right now. Click that to watch more of my content.